New cheaper plans for YouTube TV, massive changes to Hulu and Disney Plus, and big mergers ahead for streaming services like Friendly TV, Pluto TV, and HBO Max. I'll cover all of this and more as I preview what's ahead for streaming television in 2026. Hi there, it's Matt coming to you with newly straightened teeth. For my January edition of Updates and Deals, I've decided to do something of a preview for what is ahead in 2026 in the world of streaming television. Make sure to stay tuned till the end, where, like always, I will go over the best deals that you can get right now on streaming services. On this YouTube channel, I break down streaming services in a way that doesn't make you go broke or go nuts. So if you want to keep up to date with all of the latest in the world of streaming television, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as subscribe to my email newsletter. So what's ahead for streaming television in 2026? So first up, we're going to talk about one of what I think will be the biggest stories for streaming television this year, and that is that Disney is going to shut down the Hulu standalone app. Now, we've already known this is going to happen, but we are just now getting to the point that it is going to come into fruition. Hulu was, of course, one of the very first major streaming services, and they are still one of the largest streaming services out there. So to see this app shut down entirely, it is kind of, shocking, really, if you've followed the streaming services for a long time. However, maybe it's not as shocking if you consider the context with Disney. Now, Disney has really been emphasizing the Disney Plus and Hulu bundle. You have to go really far out of your way if you want to get either service on its own. So if you look at the websites, when you are on Hulu's website, the thing that they emphasize is that Disney Plus and Hulu bundle, as well as now the bundle with ESPN Unlimited. It's in this smaller text here that you see. You can try Hulu free for 1 month. And if you click that, it's going to make you, go through and create a user account and all of that. But if you scroll down to the, lower on the website, still emphasis is on the bundle. You've got to really go out of your way to get that standalone Hulu plan. And if you do get the standalone Hulu plan, it's only $1 cheaper than getting the bundle. So they want you to just really get that bundle. Now, of course, you can watch Hulu shows and movies through the Disney Plus app. So they're trying to migrate people over there. And we know that at some point this year, which I do think is very soon, possibly even by the end of this month in January, we will see them finally close down that standalone Hulu app. And now Hulu is essentially going to be downgraded from a streaming service to a brand. So it represents the adult content on Disney Plus, things like Family Guy, horror movies, 20th Century Fox, shows that you would find on either Fox or ABC or FX, not the things that you would see at Disney theme parks necessarily, like Disney Animation or Star Wars or Marvel. So if you are a Hulu subscriber and you watch Hulu through the Hulu app, pretty soon they're going to make you migrate over to the Disney Plus app. But what if you are a Hulu Plus Live TV subscriber? Now that is the million-dollar question, and we don't have the full answers just yet, but we have an idea based on some statements that the company has made. Now, earlier this last year in the fall, Fubo and Hulu Plus Live TV, so the Live TV specifically, if you're following me here, that portion of Hulu merged with Fubo, the other live TV service, into a consolidated company. And that business deal was completed in October. But since it has happened, they have kept their services separate. They've been kind of quiet on any major changes after this has happened. But that seems to be the question here, is how is that integration going to finally work together? Over on the outlet The Desk, the journalist Matthew Keys interviewed an inside source at Fubo. Again, that was back in August. And they kind of gave some clues for things that they were considering. Essentially, what it's looking like is that Hulu Live TV subscribers are going to migrate over to the Fubo app, whereas the regular Hulu subscribers will migrate over to the Disney Plus app. but the live channels from Hulu Live TV aren't necessarily going over to Disney Plus. They will be going over to Fubo. So very interesting. Sounds a little bit complicated. We'll see how this shakes out. And while we don't have the time frame just yet, we know it will be sometime this year. I do have a feeling it's going to be very, very soon. So one thing that is also happening this year, the time frame we have is early 2026, is that YouTube TV, the live TV service from YouTube, of course, they're going to be rolling out new lower cost plans focused on specific genres of channels. Most notably, they're going to have a YouTube TV sports plan. Now, we don't have the full details just yet, but they've said it's going to include stations like FS1, NBC Sports, all of the ESPN networks, as well as ESPN Unlimited. It can include add-ons like NFL Sunday Ticket and Red Zone, which I think the word can is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. That means you probably are going to have to pay extra. But with this, I do think it's notable. They list the channels owned by Fox. They list the channels owned by NBC. They list the channels owned by Disney. They don't list the channels owned by the other quadrant of the major networks, Paramount or CBS. So to me, that suggests they did not finish, signing their names on the dotted line with the people at Paramount. So we'll see if it includes the CBS stations. Now, this mirrors a similar thing that DirecTV did recently last year. They created what they called genre packs. They had different ones. They have an entertainment one, they have a Spanish language one, they have a sports one. I think their entertainment one is a pretty good deal. You get 60 plus channels for $35. You get HBO Max, Disney Plus, Hulu. Their sports one, though, if it's anything like what the YouTube TV one is, or the YouTube TV one is like what this one is, I should say, I'm not real confident in this. Because this is, after the sign-up discount, it's $70 a month. And then the local channels, you don't necessarily get all four. It depends on which city you live in. And initially, they did not have the channels from CBS, which again, I think is a sign here that those CBS stations might not be on this YouTube TV sports plan, at least when it first launches either. So on the surface, this sounds like it could be an exciting thing, but I would say it's probably going to be very similar to what DirecTV did. And I think for $70 a month, that sports plan, it sounds like it's theoretically a good deal. We'll see if YouTube TV can do something that is genuinely competitive against DirecTV. But I'm guessing it's going to be about $70 a month. So it's like, do you want to pay $70 a month and get some of the channels, but not all of them? Or do you want to pay the $83 a month and just get everything? I think a lot of people are still going to choose the $83 a month. But that is a big thing shaking out with the world of YouTube TV. And once that launches, I will, of course, cover it on this YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. Another big thing that is happening this year, this is something I have talked about before on this channel extensively, but that is the merger mania. We are going to see some major media companies consolidate this year. We already know of some streaming services that likely will merge this year. We'll see what happens with everything else. Of course, the big thing that people have been talking about is the planned acquisition of Warner Brothers from Netflix. There are a lot of people gunning against this deal. People from the left side of the political aisle, right side of the political aisle in Washington. There's people in Hollywood, the people representing the theater owners. That's why I'm skeptical if this is going to go through. The other thing that's kind of hanging over this is that Paramount, and this is a new development since I last talked about this, Paramount has offered a hostile bid, which is where they go directly to the shareholders over the board of directors and leadership at Netflix and Warner Brothers. The leadership at Warner Brothers has made this deal with Netflix already, but with this type of potential offer, they don't need them. They just go to the shareholders. They're offering their own separate deal. So we see Paramount and we see Netflix arguing over Warner Brothers. Even if one of them does a deal by the end of the year, it's going to, it's not going to be an immediate thing. It takes a long time. I would expect by the end of the year, though, we will see probably some sort of package bundle deal with Netflix and HBO Max, which is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. That's what I would guess. Now, we know that Pluto TV is going to be merging with Paramount Plus, most likely, I would say at some point this year. And Peacock is kind of an interesting one here. I'm guessing there will be some sort of acquisition offer or merger deal that their parent company, NBC Universal, will make. Peacock really has struggled to break through in the streaming world. And if I had to make a prediction for this year, I would say since NBC Universal, they also bid on Warner Brothers Discovery. They did not win, and they're not in that fight anymore at this point. I think they're going to look for some other company to try to merge with or try to just do something else with Peacock in some way, shape, or form. We'll see how that shakes out. So the next big thing this year, and I think this is going to be a big story that is going to cause a lot of discussion and a lot of controversy, as it already is. But I think 2026 is really going to be the year that we'll see the major streaming services really roll out their AI features. Now, companies like Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon, I mean, they're all using AI in some way, shape, or form. YouTube definitely is. But I think we'll really start to see those features rolled out in their respective apps. Now, Netflix did something interesting recently. On Christmas Day, they released a teaser trailer for something that they're going to announce on January 7th, so just in a few days. And this ad, it had, I won't show the full ad for copyright, but it's so this person on a subway, and they're basically seeing visions of Netflix shows and characters. It's a little cryptic. Then in the end, there is a fortune teller, and it says, "What's next?" And I believe the narration says something like, "You just have to ask," and then "What's ahead with Netflix, January 7th," or something like that. So what I think this is teasing, and I could be wrong, but I think there's going to be some sort of AI feature rolled out into the Netflix app, and I think that's what they're teasing here. The fortune teller, the what's next, this is kind of predicting, to me, showing something that's like making educated guesses, and they're, predicting what you're going to watch next. I think there's going to be some sort of AI feature in their recommendation algorithm, perhaps changing their search function so it's more conversational, more like ChatGPT. You can ask it more conversational questions when you're looking for stuff. I think that's what they're going to announce on January 7th. So we'll see if I'm right. I could be wrong, but let's see what happens. We also learned recently, and for some people, this is like a stab in the heart, but the Walt Disney Company and OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT, reached a landmark agreement to bring beloved characters from across Disney's brands to Sora, which is the AI video generator from OpenAI. Now, what this will do, it's a 3-year licensing agreement. Sora will be able to generate short, user-prompted social videos that can be viewed and shared by fans, drawing on more than 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters. Agreement will make a selection of these fan-inspired Sora short-form videos available to stream on Disney+. Now, there has been a lot of controversy with AI-generated video, and I think rightly so. Disney is a company that's very protective of their brands and their assets. I think if, whatever rolls out, I think is going to have very, very specific guardrails. But even so, I could see a bunch of problems happening here with this, but it is going to be included on Disney Plus that now people can use some sort of AI feature with Disney's characters. So we'll probably most likely see this by the end of the year. And it also says as part of the agreement, Disney will make a $1 billion equity investment in OpenAI and receive warrants to purchase additional equity. So very interesting developments here. OpenAI, Disney, they're working together. AI, Mickey Mouse, and Elsa from Frozen. Let's go. and hope they don't decide to destroy us. So to recap, in 2026, we are going to see Hulu shut down its standalone app. We're going to see possibly Hulu Live TV customers migrate over to Fubo. YouTube TV will have newer plans, but I'm predicting they're not going to be all that great. And a bunch of companies are going to try to merge together while the AI robots take over everything. So now let's get on to the streaming service deals. Now, there are a few companies where you can get some pretty good deals right now. Philo has been offering a deal. It is normally $33 a month. It is now $25. You save $8. And with that price, it does also include HBO Max Basic, Discovery Plus, and AMC Plus. So that is a pretty good deal there. This is the last night that you can get the Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Unlimited bundle for $29.99 a month for up to 12 months. This plan does expire on January 5th, which is tomorrow at the time I'm recording this video. And Paramount Plus is offering a retention offer for returning customers. This applies specifically to the Paramount Plus Premium monthly plan only. If you use the code RM2KN3 and apply it at checkout, that will take you down to just 99 cents a month for 2 months. And if you are using a mobile device, on my iPhone, when I pulled up the Paramount Plus app, it just brought up a window that offered this when I logged in, so it might do that as well. Otherwise, again, you can use that code, which is RM2KN3, and I've got that on my website, which is at shallistreamit.com/deals, and we'll have a link in the description of this video if you want to sign up for any of these deals. So that does it for now. I've got a lot more in store this month, updating a lot of old videos, talking about some new streaming services, talking about the NFL playoffs, lots of big things shaking out this year. So 2026, let's go. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye.